Hey guys, what's up? So I just want to talk about something that I noticed to be a bit of a hot topic in the trans community, and I've been really hesitant to kind of discuss this or share my thoughts on this just because I haven't seen a whole lot of actual discussion on it. I've seen a lot of fighting, so that's not something that I want to add to, but I do kind of want to touch base on it. I have confidence in you that we can all be adults and discuss things, you know? Like, we should be able to talk about things. So that's why I'm bringing it up. Just want to talk about it. I want to have a conversation. Let's share thoughts and experiences. Yeah, the biggest question that I've been seeing going around lately is, do you need dysphoria to be trans? I've seen people say that you don't need dysphoria to be trans, and then I see people that say you do need gender dysphoria to be trans. I come from a place where I don't know anything else. I had gender dysphoria. I was diagnosed with gender dysphoria when I went to therapy, when I went to the doctor. That's how I started hormones and why I've sought out medical treatment to transition. This is my experience. I don't know anyone else's experience, and I do want to emphasize that everyone is different. Everyone transitions differently. Everyone's experience is different. Although there are other transitions or people we can relate to, we can't say like who is trans, who is not. I'm not here to gatekeep or any of these things. I plain and simple just want to talk about this subject specifically. So that is my experience. I come from like a conservative background. I think one of the things that has really brought to light this topic to me recently is that I was on a panel talking to a more conservative town where I grew up, and my battle has been since the beginning that this was not a choice for me. I hate when people tell me that. I feel really bummed and hurt when people tell me that I've decided to do this and all that sort of thing, because to me it wasn't a choice. It was something that I needed to do in order for me to be whole and happy and to honestly live my life. I didn't want to just survive through life fighting this. I wanted to be aligned with my body. I wanted to live my life to the fullest, be myself authentically, completely, and fully. So that is my story, and since that's something that I've been fighting for so long, I have a hard time understanding people that say that you need absolutely no dysphoria to be trans, just because it doesn't make sense to me. And I don't mean that in a mean way, I just completely don't understand it. And I also have never met a trans person who has transitioned, even if it is just top surgery and they don't, go any further, or even if it's someone who identifies as trans. I've never met anyone that didn't have at least like the tiniest bit of discomfort. I think that we can all kind of agree that there's varying degrees of gender dysphoria. Some people are really, really debilitated by it and like can't even step outside the door or can't even shower without clothes on. And then there's people who have like a lesser degree of it, or just might be able to cope with it a little bit better, and they can go out in public, or some people don't have to bind and that sort of thing, and that's completely okay. And that's what I'm talking about. People have different degrees or variations of how gender dysphoria affects them. I guess what I don't understand is having the complete absence of it, or having a campaign or campaigning that you don't need gender dysphoria to be trans, because I feel like to a certain extent that's like taking steps backwards, at least in my situation where I've been fighting for saying that it's not a choice and needing medical intervention. And I feel like saying that you don't need dysphoria is kind of fighting against that in a little bit, but I feel like that's not necessarily true. I feel like everyone just has different degrees from which they suffer from it. And I wonder if it's actually doing the trans community a disservice by saying that you don't need it at all. Just because I don't know how you determine if you're trans if you don't have gender dysphoria. I know also I've seen a lot of people talk about gender euphoria, which makes sense. I think when I think of gender euphoria, I think of the time when I had top surgery and I saw my chest for the first time, or I wore a t-shirt for the first time without a binder. I definitely felt euphoric because it just was such an amazing feeling to be able to look down on my chest and feel aligned with my body and be able to celebrate that this was how it was always supposed to be. In that moment, I felt euphoric. After phalloplasty, I felt gender euphoria, and having things line up and starting testosterone and seeing myself in the mirror. I can understand where that word comes from, but I've never heard of euphoria existing in a space where gender dysphoria didn't also exist, or some sort of discomfort, at least the slightest, to be able to experience a sense of euphoria. So this is just the hardest. I'm having a really hard time understanding it, and I'm not in any way trying to invalidate anyone's experience or identity. I'm having a hard time understanding that, and that's just kind of why I wanted to talk about it and just have a conversation. Maybe just let me know what you think. I definitely agree that dysphoria can affect people differently. Some people don't even really know how dysphoric they actually were until after they get treated for it. And after you start seeing yourself in the mirror, after starting hormones, or after you have surgery, you feel that euphoria, and then you're like, oh yeah, that's right, this feels right. So yeah, this is just something that has been on my mind. I'm gonna end this video here. I don't really know what else to say about it. It's just a topic that I've been thinking a lot about, and sometimes I have a hard time coming from such, a background and then seeing other people's stances or journeys of where y'all come from. So yeah, let's talk about it. Leave your comments down below, and happy Thanksgiving to everyone tomorrow if you're from America, United States, whatever. Wow, I'm really nervous, guys. I'm sorry if I'm stumbling. I'm just, honestly, sometimes, I'm not here to stir anything up in the community, and I feel like my intentions here are just to discuss this, so let's just try to keep it to that. Please don't hate me. Yeah, so I'm gonna go live tonight on YouTube. We could probably talk about this a little bit more live if you want. It should be between 6 to 7 p.m. I have some Thanksgiving meal prep to do to get ready for tomorrow, but I should be hopping on here sometime after that. So yeah, anyways, comments down below. Hopefully I'll see you tonight if you can make it. Happy Thanksgiving. Peace out. I'll see you next time.